Isn't it about time dads and men had a podcast for us? Somewhere we could go to relieve some stress, help the time pass, and have a chuckle or two. A place for us. This is Word Brings Word. If you're looking for a show with general trending topics and concerns by men and dads, you've found your home. Funny, opinionated, real and raw. This is Word Brings Word, and this is your host, Bruce Jackson.
Hey, y'all, welcome to the first episode of Word Brings Word. I'm Bruce.
I'm Gene.
And we're going to have our other boys call in sometime, you know what I mean? It'll be a bunch of us. So sometime we might just...
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's Big D. Big D's on the phone. That's what I was going to say. So sometime we're going to have other people with us. You may just get me and Gene sometime. Gene got a couple of nicknames. So if you hear anybody referred to as Doony, Iceman,
Legend.
He called himself the Truth.
Roki King, Rick James. I mean, we keep going.
Yeah, Rick James. You know, he got a couple of different personalities. So we'll let y'all know whenever we do introduce people on the phone, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, they have just much of the floor as us when we talk about these topics. But basically, word brings word, right? So word is the way, that's what we call gossip, right? So if someone's calling me or I'm calling Gene on the phone, we're talking about something. I'm like, man, you got any word? I'm basically saying, what do you know? What's going on in your world? Like, what do you know? Anything happen? And I might be like, Gene, you got some word? And most of the time, what do you say back?
Word brings word.
So then he's basically saying, well, if you got something, I probably got something. You know, so we figured we bring that flow to the podcast. What do you say, Big D?
No, I said, but we bring facts. We don't bring gossip, though. But just go ahead.
We bring facts. We bring facts, but then we put our opinion or our take on it. You know. So.
Exactly.
So you know, y'all got any word today? You got some word, Gene?
Well, the word on the street is Adele got her a black boyfriend, from what I heard.
I'm gonna call y'all right back. I'm just playing. Y'all want to talk about that?
All right. So I mean, let's talk about it. You want to talk about that, D? I mean,
yeah, I'm ready.
Like Gene said, word brings some word. So I know there was an Instagram post that blew up.
I got Kevin Samuels on my side. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There was an Instagram post that blew up where Adele. I mean, was it Adele that made that post? There's a picture of her and I guess her man now. I don't know if it's her husband.
She made that quote. I don't know if she made that post. She made that quote.
Right. What was the quote? Do you remember the quote?
Man, I can't. I go look
something about the easiest and the happiest she's ever been. Something like that. Like it's the easiest relationship. Something to that degree. I do remember there's a lot of backlash as far as our women goes towards the situation, though.
Hello. A lot of women felt a certain way about that one, boy.
So when
I wonder, was it just the comment? Because I seen something that was real disturbing. I seen that they said like it was a couple of black women, more than one. I want to say I at least seen 4.
I was about to say we may be going too deep because we gotta let the listeners know. We gotta paint the picture for them. So what kind of comments were these? Who were the comments from? You know what I mean? Okay. That's why I'm trying to find the exact quote so we can let them know, like, okay, man, we got too many chats to be going on in here.
Right.
I just remember like there was a couple comments saying that black men make it easier for white women.
Yeah, that was a lot of the sentiment right there. That's what they were saying.
And that right there kind of blew my mind. It was real interesting because it's like, well, how could that be? Like, how do we just look and we're just gonna make it easy for her, make it harder for any other race?
All right, I got the facts right here. Y'all ready?
Oh yeah.
It says Adele says relationship with Rich Paul is the most incredible and the easiest she's ever been in.
Okay, Rich Paul is LeBron's agent, correct?
Yes.
That's LeBron James. His agent. Okay.
I didn't even know that.
Yes.
Okay. So Rich Paul is LeBron James' agent.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we know he's wealthy.
He's wealthy.
And they're dating, whatever. She says they're in a relationship, but
right.
All right. So now let's go from there. Now, what kind of comments is it that we're seeing?
We're seeing a lot of our women who look like us, lovely ladies. Okay, we'll call them the lovely ladies. They're making a statement that black men always get with white women and treat them better. That's what we saw a lot of. Now we did see a lot of ladies who look like us say, "Okay, I'm glad she found love. That's good." But, about 70% of them was kind of upset if I'm going down the stroll. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty bad.
I mean, it's unbelievable that we're still at a time. Like, here's my take on it.
Okay.
Since we are the dominant gene, meaning that no matter which race we choose to have intercourse with,
okay,
and the baby comes out, it's still going to be considered a black baby. No,
I agree. I'm 100%. That's facts.
Yeah.
So,
that's absolutely fact.
In saying that, I mean, I would just think that no matter who we have an intercourse with, if we're still producing black babies, that's the goal. No?
What's the goal?
What's the goal?
That you want black kids. Like, the problem is you're mad at a man for having sex to me with another race because you're worried about our race. No?
No. I don't think they're worried about our race. I think the problems come from that lifestyle they get.
Right.
You know, I don't think it's more or less like, man, I don't want that black man with no white woman or no other color woman. You know what?
Right.
And that's really a whole nother point we can talk about next. Because this really, that beef really only comes up with a black man and a white woman, not a black man and an Asian woman, not a black man and a Jewish woman, not a black man and a Hispanic woman.
We can't say that because they kind of got mad at Jeezy. I saw some comments
definitely
about
mad at Jeezy. I was about to say, I know personal women, as soon as it got announced, was mad about it.
But they mad about it on a. I think they mad about that because he's got that life. See, his status is already so high. So it's like this high status black man took this other lady and look at everything she's getting while she ain't black. But as a whole, like I think black men with white women, regardless of what that man's got, it's like, why are you taking her in? Now she's got this lifestyle. She's got the help. I really think it's like, look, I'm breaking my back. I'm working hard. I'm doing this and doing that without any kind of help or whatever. I could have the help and have the different kind of life, have a little bit of weight taken off my shoulders if a black man would be with me or treat me like that or whatever. It's almost like if I had to dumb it down, I'd be like, it's almost like saying, oh, you put the cape on and saved her. Why y'all don't save us? That's if I had to really just dumb it down.
I mean, but she doesn't. I mean, most black women nowadays don't want us, in a sense, to say that. You know,
that's what I'm saying. You don't want those type of men,
right?
So why get mad when they find happiness? I don't explain that to me.
They don't want what kind of men?
Like the Rich Pauls, they don't want those type of guys. You know, without the heavy tattoos or you know what I'm saying, the you know what our women like in our culture, man. You know, they like the money bag yayos and stuff like that. That's what they like. And that's okay.
Right.
But you can't get mad when they just a plain normal guy, which majority of black men are, go find another race of women who they're happier with, who accept them. Why get mad at that brother? Why.
I personally think that's what they like earlier on. But I feel like that kind of changes after they've been through something. And sadly enough, most of the times, it also means had a kid or two. Then it's like, man, I need somebody better than this. I need something, then they start looking for that homie guy, the person that probably was in their friend zone the whole time. It's kind of like, man, I really need somebody like that don't go out all the time, who's not living the fast life or who's not in the streets or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Again, so we got to kind of preface this. We never really talk on the absolutes, right? Because everybody, no matter what we talk about, somebody can always be like, well, I know somebody's like that or such and such. She ain't like that. I'm not like that.
So that's why we use our life experience and statistics to go by this. So we got to use that. That's how we can measure.
Right. Hold on. We got Darren calling in. All right, Darren, we got you on here on Word Brings Word, y'all. This is Darren on the phone, aka Smooth. What's up, man?
Real quick, Bruce. Catch him up real quick.
Smooth, you there?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, so we was talking about this. There was an Instagram post that went out by we don't know who really put it out there, but somebody basically shared a post from basically sharing a quote that Adele made saying that she's in this relationship with Rich Paul, and basically saying it was the easiest relationship she's ever been in. And what else she say? I gotta go find it again. Here it is. Said it's the most incredible and easiest she's ever been in. So we were talking about the whole black-white thing, interracial relationships, and you can give us your thoughts on it, whatever like that. But we really were talking about the comments, because I don't know about y'all, for y'all that's on social media, because I know Gene's not, but for the people that's on Instagram, TikToks and stuff, when I see controversial stuff or stuff that's drama,
right,
first thing I think is, oh God, let me go see what the comments are saying. I want to see what that's, to me, is the funny part. Even if it's something funny, I want to see what was funny said in the comments.
Right.
So first thing I do is go to comments. So
real quick from my perspective, when we started this conversation too, we was talking about the black male image also. How being with Adele and her with a black man saying it, is that a good look for us? That's a good image, because Adele's a high profile Caucasian woman, right? She can date any man. And she chose a black man like Rich Paul and say that. Is that a good image for us? Does that look good? All the bashing that we get as black men? What you think?
Yeah, it's some black women that don't like, white women dating black men, period. But I think Adele has a history of she dated black men, even before she got big. I don't know like how long ago it was, but you see it in the videos from years ago.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on one second, y'all. Terry calling. I'm gonna connect Terry in.
All right.
Terry, I got you on the podcast. Hold on, I'm gonna connect you in.
Okay. Yeah, I had a baby.
All right, y'all. I connected Terry in with us. So Terry, you gonna hear with me and Gene and Smooth and Big D. But hey, y'all. So for y'all that's on the cell phone, if y'all have anything going on in the background, if you ain't talking, just mute your phone. That way, the other noise don't come in and interrupt nobody. Okay. So Terry, we're gonna get you caught up real quick. We are talking about the singer Adele. Somebody made a post on Instagram, and it says Adele says the relationship with Rich Paul is the most incredible and the easiest she's ever been in. And then we were talking about how the comments got jumping from there, and we basically were talking about the black men dating white women and how black women feel about it, and our thoughts on it and all of that. So that's what we're talking about now, Terry. Just catch you up. But go ahead, Smooth. What was you saying?
Yeah, I was saying that Adele, I think she has a history of, dating black men. So it's not like she was dating white men all her life and all of a sudden she switched to black men with Rich Paul. That's one thing I would say.
Mm-hmm. Now, hold on. Adele is dating a young black gentleman. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adele. But so Darren, you're saying that she's got a history of dating him. But that don't.
Right. So some of the comments are like, why she want to get a black man? Now, if that's how some black women feel about, when they see a black man walking with a white woman, that's their first thought. Like, are black women not good enough? That kind of thought.
Right. And see, and that's what I was wondering, like what everybody's perspective is on that. Like, why do you think women get upset, especially our black women getting upset about a situation like that? And I always thought because there's a limited amount of men in general and they're dominant. So once they lose one of us to another race, they feel like, oh, well, you're taking out a pot that's already low. And that's what I thought it was about. Personally, I didn't know.
What do y'all think? So I feel like it's probably different for groups, right? There's probably some that may think, wow, you're betraying your race.
Right.
Instead of being with us, you're going with someone else when you should be with us, right? There are some that may have stuff psychologically that's been in their head from growing up. They might have heard their parents or seen things that their girlfriends have went through. So now they feel that kind of way toward that also.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like it may be the lifestyle. It's like, man, like I was saying earlier to Gene, like they may be feeling like I've been over here living like this. I got all this weight on my shoulders. Here you go with her. Well, for a lack of better words, just to dumb it down, basically saying you're saving this white woman instead of saving me or saving someone like us, someone in your own race. And I only say saving just to make it simple, right? But basically, basically look at it like when we could be together and have a two household income, living a better, easier life versus me by myself struggling and you're over there with her doing that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Terry, what's your thoughts?
Well, I don't know, man. It starts out different for me. I'm thinking in my situation, I mean, my woman is a minority, but I guess we see her as white. And it just wasn't like that because I tried to date black women. It just didn't work out.
Right. Well, and see, so to that point, a lot of black women don't know that story. You know what I mean? They just see you walking with your woman and be like, and think what they think. They don't know the troubles or the trials and tribulations you've been through.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
They don't. And so I think it's going to be on a bigger scope because a lot of people, everybody's story is different. I know you hear the stereotypes. Once a black man makes it rich, first thing he's got to get is a white woman. Well, that's not true in my case. So,
Mommy, but do you consider yourself making it rich though?
No, I'm not rich because no, I'm just I'm just real comfortable.
See, and see that I'm glad you brought that up because to me, that saying only works in Hollywood. So even if you were a particular rich person, nobody would really know because you're averaging that on TV, right? So to me, that only works in that world. Like once you make it to the screen.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes depending on what the people are driving, what they're dressing like and stuff, that don't mean you really know they're wealthy, but they give off that look. So let's just paint a picture of.
Well, I'm not saying even everybody on the screen is wealthy because I don't even think it has anything to do all the time with the amount of wealth. I think it's just that fame or screen. Like once you get on there, the programming of the people, like we have to kind of follow this agenda. It's what it looks like. Could be love, but just what it looks like.
What I'm saying is, so let's paint a situation where we're at the bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of men, a lot of women. If women are looking at a group of men, I know they can look at them and they're going to prejudge wealth.
Right.
I mean, do y'all agree on the phone, Terry, Darren, Smooth, Big D? Y'all agree?
That's women nature.
Yeah.
That's the nature.
And based on that, might depend on who they choose to at least talk to or give the shot, right? It's kind of like a lottery ticket. Like, okay, I see 6 of them over there. I know I can't go to one and be like, you turn me down? Okay, hey, the next one. You turn me down? Okay, the next one. They pretty much got to choose, like, well, which one am I going to give a couple of looks at? Which one am I going to give a couple of hints? Like, hey, come talk to me. I'm open if you want to come holler. You know what I mean? So I feel like they judge that. So let's say they're looking at all of us, and Terry's the one over there looking like he got all the guap. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then they're looking at Terry, and they see Terry get up and go over here and talk to this white lady. He's smiling. One of them bought her a drink. I feel like they could feel that same way just about that situation as they do Adele. And Terry ain't rich. He's not on TV or nothing. But in that situation, it's kind of just, I feel like that same feeling would be there.
Yeah, I mean, I can give you that. Like, you definitely have the average woman walking down the street, see an interracial couple, and have that feeling. And again, it has nothing to do with the fame or the money. It's just like, hey, you took one of ours type thing, or he's the oppressor, and how you with him or her type situation. So yeah, I can see that definitely happening.
Y'all got anything else to add on the phone before I go to the next twist?
No, go ahead.
Darren, you good? Terry, you good?
Yeah.
All right, so here's the next
thing.
Good. Here's the next thing. Do y'all feel like black men get just as upset or feel any kind of way when they see a black woman with a white woman? I mean, a black woman with a white man?
No.
Yeah, I think so. I think it goes both ways.
So you think black men feel this? Talk to us, Smooth. Talk to us.
Man, if I see a black woman with a white man, it goes to my mind, just to be honest. The same way that we talk about it, it goes to the white woman's mind. So
what's going through your mind?
Thinking like,
okay.
I'm thinking like, why should choose him over, the black man? Same way that, black women comments have said the same thing. So it's like, all right, are there not enough good black men out here? And we hear the stories, whether it's comedian talking or somebody just, making a statement on social media, like all the black men, all the good ones are taken, the ones that are left are no good, they don't treat you right. So I'm going to another race, basically. Not necessarily a white man, but I'm going to a different race to, try my hand over there.
Yeah. Do you think you only think like that because the woman forced you to think like that because of her way of thinking, or you just naturally feel like that?
I think, like I said, it happens both ways. So a woman can say that, and black men say the same thing. When black women jump on an interracial couple or just a black man in general, when he's dating outside the race, he says the same thing. I tried dating y'all and it didn't work out, so I'm going to a different race.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, when I see it, I don't really even think about it like that. I think about it as a challenge across the board because, I feel like men are hunters. So we don't care that the cheetah is also looking at the leopard or the panther's also looking at, the zebras or whatever we're hunting, right? So when I see it, I just think, okay, can I take that? I don't think, oh, she's left and it's too late for me. You see what I'm saying? I look at her like, can I win? The same way I would look if she was with a black dude. Like, if I wanted her, can I win? I feel like we all hunt like that. So when I see her with a white man, I don't think, oh, well, she's with him and I can't do anything about it. I can't eat now.
What you about to say, BB? You think what?
No, I'm just saying. All I can do is just go by what I see in the comments and what most men say. Like, for instance, when Serena married the white guy, most black men weren't even upset. They were like, man, we had before. Glad she found love. I didn't see anybody like, oh, why Serena married that white guy? No, none of the black men said it. You know what I'm saying? So, for what I was reading, as a reverse when it comes to women, I said I see them.
Okay, what do you think, Terry?
See, it's just, this is an interesting topic to me, and it's kind of fascinating just to hear you all's opinion, because none of that entered my mind when I met my wife. None of that.
Right. Well, I mean, sometimes it's going to be like, it may depend on where you're from, your demographics, what are you around. Like I've heard black men that live in Chicago who said they've never seen a white person until they left that area. Mm-hmm. So, depending on your city and how you split up, see, nowadays we get to see so much because we do have social media. You know what I mean? So I saw a TikTok earlier that was like, oh, back in the 80s, we didn't have Google. We had these and had a bunch of encyclopedias. Mm-hmm. And it's like, we didn't have social media. We had this, you know what I mean? Passing like a little written note in class that was all folded up and stuff. Everything's so different now. So I think however people feel, it makes it magnified so much because now you can easily look on there to see it. And what you're looking at, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everything is going to show you that same thing more and more and more because their job is to keep you locked in. You know what I mean? So Terry probably don't see it because he ain't looking for it. He's probably not looking for anything that's going to be even close to it. He's looking up Dallas Cowboys and RC cars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like.
Go ahead, Terry.
I just didn't see it that way. I didn't see it that way.
Now, okay. All of us on this phone's black. Now, did y'all ever have anything said to y'all from your parents? Like, you better not bring anybody else, any other race home or anything else like that? Who started laughing? Who started?
Sort of. I started laughing because it was joking, but I think it was my mom who said it. She can't use my comb, don't bring them home, type thing.
Oh, she said if they can't use my comb, don't bring them home.
Exactly.
Well,
you ever heard that before?
Nah.
That's
a new one. I ain't never heard that.
They can use your comb, don't bring them home.
It's funny. It's funny you asked that question because I was just thinking that like a lot of our, like you were saying, upbringing determines how we look at things.
Right.
And so upbringing means your parents are going to be the usually are the biggest influencers in that regard. So yeah, I heard it from different people, parents, or whether it's your dad or your mom, like, all right, don't bring nobody home who don't look like us, type thing.
Yeah. Terry, what about you?
And that's in his that's in the current generation, right? I'm not talking about grandmother. I'm talking about like current generation.
Right.
My parents were not like that.
Oh, they didn't say that, Terry?
No.
Darren, what about yours, D? Big D, you there? He might put us on mute. He might be doing something. Yeah, I don't really recall anything like that either.
Yeah, I don't think my mom said. If she did, I don't really remember it. Or my dad, I don't remember. Neither one of them saying anything like that.
I mean, it might have been something that's in the back of parents' minds, but they might not sit there and be like really saying it. You know what I mean?
Okay, I mean,
or maybe depending on how you acted, maybe if you started dating a couple, then it might be like, "Hey, son, we got to have this talk." You know what I mean?
I mean, since we kind of switching over into this gear, I was just wondering, like, do you feel that you can really be fully black or yourself when you're with another race? Like, they can understand and feel exactly how you feel. You can watch some of the same shows and get that. You can look over and give that nod. Do you feel like you can do that with another race? Do you feel like you can't even watch a certain movie because?
I say it depends, because it depends on how that person was raised. So they can be a different race, but if they're raised in the same neighborhood as you, then the likelihood is higher that they understand the inside jokes and whatever that are cultural, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Otherwise, if you're from a different city, East Coast, West Coast, North versus South, you can be two black people and your culture is different, right?
Now, that I agree with, because Timmy is not like that. I mean, we watch everything together. And if it's black shows, white shows, whatever shows, we watch them, and we don't have any biases there. The problem where I have an issue at is sometimes understanding some of the racism issues that are out there in the world, because sometimes she doesn't see it.
So, give us an example, T.
Let's take, for example, I talked to you guys about a couple weeks ago about me being stopped by this police officer for some bogus nonsense.
This is a good new topic. This is a new topic right here, because we're going to be on this one a while. This is a good one.
So I was stopped, for some bogus nonsense, and we won't go into why I'm stopped. But when I came home to tell Tammy, the first thing she goes was your seatbelt on? And I didn't think that was the first thing, because when I talked to my manager, Pat, that wasn't the first thing that she said, was your seatbelt on? And Pat's black. And the first thing Tammy says, well, was your seatbelt on? And you gave him cause. Why? I really didn't give him cause. We know why I was stopped, and automatically Pat recognized that, but Tammy didn't.
Okay, so a little backstory. Terry's driving. He's got a couple of vehicles, but he's got an older vehicle. It's an older model, but it's still nice. He decided driving around the neighborhood a little bit just to get it out the garage and get it some drive time, right? He passes the police going one way. He's going the opposite way. While he's getting ready to pull up in his neighborhood, police circle around and pull him over. Walked up on him like, basically was like, I'm pulling you over because you didn't have your seatbelt on. So Terry's basically saying, is like, I know good and well that ain't really why you pulled me over. Because he lives in a part of town in the city with predominantly white. You know what I mean? So
I mean, it just seems like also, Terry, I mean, for you to say that she didn't understand like that, y'all couldn't be watching the type of shows that would cause any friction either. Like, you had to be watching some happy-go-lucky type shows. You couldn't be watching maybe Roots or something like that together and have a good feel.
Well, I don't know. That's a good test. I mean, I guess we'd have to see, because I believe we could, and during the course of the movie. Well, I think during the course of the movie, if she had questions, it'd be something that we would talk about. But for that instance, for me being stopped, and right off the bat, you didn't really realize that they stopped me for being black.
Right.
I don't think
that's your kids. You gotta talk to too. That's where it gets deeper and deeper to me personally. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, because different people will hear that same story from Terry, and they're going to think different things. But I feel like this is where, okay, it's been happening to black people for so long, right? Crazy stuff like this. But it's also now to a point to where even if that wasn't the case, we still would err on the side of it probably was. We're not going to give that benefit of the doubt because we have seen it so much. And that's where that race will come in at. Because my wife would probably be the same way. Like, well, did he have it on? And I'd be thinking, no, you're missing the point.
Right.
What I'm telling you is, as fast as they went by,
exactly what I said.
As fast as they went by, there's no way the police really was like, oh, okay.
Right.
And if he had it on, then they might have been like, well, yeah, it looked like your light was out, and I was just trying,
And am I that big of a criminal? Like,
right. That's exactly the point I was making.
It's a seatbelt. Like, are you really after? Like, this is what we're discussing here.
Right. So,
not to say again, that's where it gets shaky because it is the law, and that's what people put their backbone on. Like, but it's the law. So is jaywalking. And how many times have I seen people jaywalk?
Yeah, I got that same story. Yeah, it's the law. I get it. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that's the first thing that should have came out. I don't think that was it.
But the
so
point
you want special privilege because you're black. See, I'm just playing.
but the point is, a black person literally has to drive in that fear. They have a certain fear and feeling about them. So I've told my wife, I'm like, you don't drive down the road and see a police up the street and be thinking, oh gosh, I hope I don't get pulled over, and try to
turn left?
Try to start sitting up straight, holding my wheel at 10 and 2, turn the music down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's so much that goes through your mind seeing the police because you have to have this feeling of this might be my last breath. This might be my last night. And I feel like no other race has to go through that.
And that's where it's making more of my point. Like, when you're with the other race, do you feel like you can really be 100% yourself, meaning 100% black, authentic, and really, really express stuff and have that bond? That's where it gets to me.
I can be myself. I can be myself.
Yeah, we can't bond over something you don't understand the same way. I'll just explain it and be like, I'm playing today. I've said you don't understand that because you aren't me. You don't live the same life in this fear. But your kids need to understand this because this is going to be their life. You see what I mean?
You might not.
And it's better to tell them about this stuff early and have them prepared than for them to possibly have to learn it the hard way.
See, I can't believe this happened.
Right. I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, I'm sure y'all been in situations where something's happened and you're just so in shock, like, wait, what? You know what I mean? So if you have a kid that's mixed or black and you got to let them know, like, you may be treated this way and have to put it in their mind so that they're not out there somewhere. I mean, y'all been in school when you were younger, or especially if you were like a little class clown or something. You know, we've talked about this in the past where it seemed like everybody's talking, but the teacher always be on you. Hey, everybody's talking, Bruce. And you're looking like, huh? That's that same feeling when you get older, but now you're an adult and it's the police.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Multiple people, but why was it me that got called out? Why is it me that's in trouble? You know.
So y'all saying, like, to the degree that you don't think there'd be a conflict in that teaching? Like, you're trying to teach your kids one thing, but since your partner of another race doesn't believe in don't see what you see, not even to believe, don't see what you see. So they're teaching their kids one way and you're teaching the kids another way. Is that not a conflict, you don't think? Or you think like, well, hey, they better listen to me if they want to make it and keep it moving?
That's exactly what I said.
No.
We talking about the kid's life. I mean, you know what I mean? It's better put like this. Worst case scenario, I could say it's better safe than sorry.
But what if it's a mama's boy or she doesn't even like you like that to even listen? Or
my job is to say my part. I'll say my part, and that's on y'all. You see, there's a lot of stuff.
But I would think that would be parents that should work together. No, like they should be.
I mean, yeah, you gotta be on the same page,
right? And it sounds like in these scenarios that we're having that they wouldn't be because they don't understand it.
Different parents go through different things, right? Like, I mean, even if you take it away from race and think about somebody rich to somebody that came up in poverty, they're gonna have different expectations, different lessons they've been through, different things. So they may look at stuff differently when they get ready to talk to the kids, right?
And you come together. Like, that's what, most of the time forming a relationship is. Like, you talk about religion, this is what I believe. You talk about politics, this is what I believe. You talk about, races and all that, this is what I believe. You can talk about the cops, this is what I believe. And then you go to the kids as a united front. Like, this is what we believe in. We think you should go to this school. We think you should do this. We think this, like as a unit. I would think, every household is different, so I'm not trying to judge anybody on how they run their household. I'm just asking questions to see if that conflict is there, to understand it, if it's a problem, or it's just you feel like the kids should just make their own decision after there is that conflict.
No, you should be on the same page about all the things you just listed out, right? So you have a concern that needs to be addressed. Your wife may look at it one way, you look at it at another way. Mm-hmm. Y'all discuss how you're gonna address it, and then that's when you're educating your kids about it, right?
Right.
So
right,
you got to have both perspectives, addressed, and then finally, how do you want to educate your kids on it?
So now I believe in my situation, Tammy understands this perspective because she has 3 black young men who look black more than you would think for being mixed kids there. And she understands this situation. She truly understands what I'm talking about. She just can't grasp it. How does that happen? I mean, really, did he see you without your seatbelt on? No, he could not. We've already been through this before. That is not why he stopped me.
Yeah, I feel like for her to not be able to grasp it, it's probably because. So when you say, she probably sees herself as, so Terry, I'm not assuming, I'm asking. She probably sees herself as considered to be white before considered to be black, right?
She considers me to be white?
No, herself.
No. She is Native American.
I know what she is.
And that's what she's.
Okay.
No, she don't claim she's a white woman. She said, I am an Indian. I am a Seminole and Creek Indian. That's who I am.
When the bus,
that's what she
when
believes.
The bus pull up, is she gonna be on the white side or the black side? Ain't no Indian side.
Right.
When the bus pull up, what's gonna happen?
I feel like in this society, they really look at it. I mean, I feel like the police is gonna see colored or uncolored. Let's go there. Colored or not colored. And you get one drop of anything else in you as a Caucasian, you are colored. That's the way I view it and see it. Now I know there's people that can be Asian, Jewish, Hispanic, Indian, whatever, and they haven't had to go through the same stuff, so they're not going to be able to see the same. They're not going to have the same fear as Terry, or they're not going to think exactly what they did. But like you said, Pat did, because she's a black woman. She's got kids that she has to have these same concerns about. So the first thing she's going to be thinking also is like, "Oh my God, I'm glad you made it out alive." You see what I mean?
Right.
If Tammy hasn't had to go through that, she's not going to be really thinking that. Because, we got black friends that say the same thing. Don't make me call Derek on here. He'll be like, "Yeah, but what did you do?" So you got people that will, like, you see a crazy killing online that just looks so crazy to you. Mm-hmm. And you got some people that's going to be like, "Wow, that was way too much. What's going on?" And then you got people who be like, "Yeah, but what did they do? Right. How did they get there?" Okay, the guy's getting his neck stomped out, but what did he do to the police? Or what did he say? Like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? For real, you hear this and it's like, wait, so the only reason to really be shooting someone is to protect your life or another civilian's life, right? That's supposed to be law. So in my mind, I just don't know why we would see someone getting shot like that. And if we didn't see the other person with a gun or a knife about to stab or attack this other person, why would we even be asking, like, well, what happened? What did they do? You know what I mean?
Right.
Do y'all agree there? The people on the phone?
That's pretty much what I'm at.
To an extent. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Bruce, because you got certain people who, whether they're black or not, they're brought up a certain way, so their views are very, very conservative. So sometimes that's some of the things that they will ask in that certain situation. Like, hey, what did that person do? Versus, we know this ain't right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes to a matter of, like, when I watch a video, and specifically, like, if somebody dies in the video, it's usually like, well, it doesn't matter what they did, because, like, what does it take for somebody to lose their life? And that's the question you got to ask people, to me. You know what I'm saying? Because people are so quick to be like, oh, well, what they do, don't care about the life that got lost. It's like, well, it doesn't matter what they did. Like, did they deserve to die? Even if he just bought some crack, you're saying he deserved to die because he bought, you know what I mean? Something like that. So
What y'all think? What y'all thinking over there? BD, you got any thoughts? You still here?
He got that new job, man.
Was he the one that took the picture?
Yeah. He got that new job.
Sitting on the counter, I like that.
Hey, you think that's where they're gonna be? What security just posted up on the counter
Right.
looking?
Try to make
Well, they're gonna have
it look easy.
Be out there patrolling the pumps. So if y'all didn't know, like, so what we're talking about, BD is top flight security in the world. He does security. So we're talking about how Quick Trip was saying that they're gonna if you're not in the Atlanta area or down south, Quick Trip is a chain of gas stations, and they said they're going to start hiring security to be on-site security for the certain gas stations, and that's what we're talking about. What would that entail? What they may have to do? Me personally, I feel like they would probably have at least 2 on shift. If it's that bad where you need them, you're going to want to cover all bases. I don't see this person just being inside, like I'm trying to make sure nobody's stealing this or that in here. I think it really will be more or less for the outside, for crowd control.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they would want Big D, they would want to see Big D out there being a presence. They want people to pull up like, man, let's not chill around here too much. Security over there with the bulletproof vest on, with a gun on them and everything.
Yeah, but how much is that going to matter if you don't really got authority?
Well, so the problem is, the thing about security is, a lot of times they don't want to test their authority if they see the good presence there. Like a lot of these people, y'all, just be big being security. They can't fight. They don't have the strength. They're big, and it's just they're big enough to where people be like, I don't want to deal with that problem. I don't want to mess with it. You know what I mean? It's a deterrent.
Right.
But I feel like that deterrent gets neutralized when people been drinking. So my whole thing is, I'd be like, man, D, I don't know. Because I told him I wouldn't do it. Because I picture a group full of friends and a couple of cars pulling up at night down there chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know, Terry. Up to $33 an hour. That's I mean,
he bet.
I don't know, Terry. I don't know. I think I'm willing to take that chance. I think I could defend myself pretty well, so we'd be all right. I know how to talk to people.
He could defend. Yeah. What I was gonna say, he's good with controlling the crowd and stuff. You know what I mean? And more times than not, it's probably going to be the same people kind of in that area. And you know, because I've seen them doing it at the club. So what it turns into is 10 of us roll up there, a couple's drunk, but I know him. And so when everybody's tripping, I'm like, hey, y'all, hey, chill. That's D, man. He cool, we good. And they be like, oh, okay, all right, big dog, my bad, whatever. You know what I mean? But if Big D was the kind of person who went out there acting like he's going to kick ass and take names, that's what will make people be like, oh, wait, hold on now, what? You know what I'm saying? Because there's people like that. So y'all got anything else to add? We can get ready to wrap it up. You know what I mean? And tune in, until next time.
I mean, those were pretty good topics there. I appreciate you bringing that, awareness to people. That's pretty good.
Man, I think we need to have a whole session on that one day, man. We need to. I mean, there's so many situations that happen and that could happen. So we can really break this police situation down to: should you really fear them or not? How are you going to act when you see them? People who act like they know the law, but they really just watch the internet video. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's so much to be said because you just can't listen to just anybody. I've personally seen internet clips on like Instagram where I'm like, oh, I'm going to talk to my boys about this because there's somebody who's out there doing this stuff on purpose just to put the police in their place.
Right.
And so I'm like, yeah, maybe it's a little more different when you're recording and you're streaming and all of this than when you get pulled over by the police and caught off guard and you're in shock and you're just like, oh snap, what should I do? You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah, well, it's not a good feeling. I don't like that uncomfortable feeling that you brought up earlier. I don't really like it. And you're true to what you said. I believe you're right. When you see a cop, you're like, oh crap.
Oh man.
Instantly. You can be on the other side of the road and you get that feeling.
Man, it's so bad.
Right.
Like, I know when I'm over here at this building, I don't want to be here past midnight because I feel like after midnight, the police is more than likely to try to follow me. Like, okay, what is he doing out this late? You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
Let me close on this. This is the one thing that I feel like I'm always looking at everything as a bird's eye view, right? I don't believe all police are bad.
Right.
But I do believe there's good police that see stuff and should say stuff, but they don't because they back to blue.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't going to just sit there and be like, yeah, such and such was wrong. They tripping or whatever. Or I think he may be a little prejudiced. They're not going to do all of that. But these people are human. Terry used to be a referee. He used to ref basketball. And he'll tell you, if somebody kept talking too much stuff, or maybe somebody's parent kept talking too much stuff, he may be a little harder now on the calls, or he may turn a blind eye. I didn't see that foul. You see what I'm saying?
No, it was deaf ears right there.
Deaf ears. I mean,
I didn't see it.
Right, it's the same, but it's the same with the police. That's why I'm like,
Right.
okay, go ahead and give them that respect or whatever, just because you know the position of authority they're in. You know what I mean? Me personally, I call that playing the game. Someone else may be like, oh, no, you just kissing butt. You're just letting them do this, do that. They're going to always do whatever they want if you do it. Like, okay, I mean, I'm trying to make it home, though. That's me. Y'all want to sit up there and try to ask them for an arm wrestle or whatever, y'all can. You know, that's on y'all.
No, that's the part I didn't think of, and both of them brought up just because it fired me up so much that I just wasn't I wasn't a perfect citizen at that time. And then, you know, hindsight, thinking back, like, oh, man, they
you know, and that's the thing. As Black people, we're not allowed to have a bad day. You know, see, we got all the studies, we got all the research to show. Stanford did a study on this already, how police officers talk differently and more hostile towards African American, you know, drivers. Right. So we know that the studies out there show that they treat us different. So if you come in there with a hostile tone, what do you think you're gonna get in return? You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
You get it. You see what I'm saying? Every Black person not criminal. Majority of Black people, about 80% of Black people are law-abiding citizens. So you're gonna run into more law-abiding civil Black people than you are the thugs. You see what I'm saying? Right. So, but we got to understand that, and the terrorists and the FBI already did research on this. They showed that the police force have been infiltrated by white supremacists. That's the number one domestic terrorist threat according to the FBI in America. So why do we look into stuff like that? Why, when Black people say that, it's always Black people pulling a race card? You know, stuff like that just don't make sense. You know what I mean?
If you said that to somebody with a straight face, they look at you like you have three heads. You'd be better off. You'd be looking at them. They look at you the way Terry be looking at me when I start talking about my conspiracy theory stuff. Well, let me bring up some conspiracy. When I bring up my conspiracy theory stuff, Terry be like, "Bruce, come on now."
Right.
I'll be like, Terry, I promise you, Bill Gates is trying to kill everybody. Hold on, I'm sending Terry. I'm sending them TED talks and stuff. And he's like, well, that just don't really make sense. I'm like, I know it don't make sense, but he said it on the TED talk, depopulation.
Right.
And I'm feeling like I'm back in my story, but I know it still sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. Especially when it's all out there right in front of you. But that's the stuff that's the most. Hold on. Magicians do stuff all day right in front of you. They just trick your eyes. It's right in front of you, though.
Yeah, I mean, who is Bill Gates? Is he a scientist?
Oh, yeah, that's what I said. Is he a scientist now?
He got enough money to be.
Hold up.
He got enough money to be what
he wants. That's a question. Like, if he's not that, and then he does a TED talk and he's speaking about that, and the people listen, who are we? We got to be sheep.
We are. We being sheep. We know that. Sheep. But there's enough of the sheep to where the other people that aren't sheep might as well be sheep because they can't cause the change on their own.
I think people really don't want to believe that there's people out there who would think like that.
Man, because it sounds so insane, dog. Like,
I don't know how when you see it every day in front of you. Every day.
Oh, man,
right.
People don't see these. Okay, you sit there and tell somebody, oh, you know, that drug or that shot or whatever they're trying to give you got baby fetuses in it. People, what? You know what I mean? Did y'all hear what that just sounded like? Mm-hmm. Now, have y'all heard that before?
Yeah.
Well, people will look at you like, you got to be stupid. Or like, you know, they taking these little kids out here selling their organs. What? Hold on. You can go to Walmart and see a million missing kid photos up there, but somebody tripping that they talk about some organ trafficking or sex trafficking.
Hey, Bruce, you got the tinfoil hat on today. Tinfoil hat.
All right, y'all. We'll get into this. Y'all remember some of that. We'll get into some of those topics next time. All right, y'all.
All right.
All right, buddy.
Yeah.
Great,
right,
great talk.
All right, man. Y'all take it easy. We'll holler at y'all.
Right.
Internet streets, y'all.
Yeah.
If you're on YouTube, follow us. Comment below if y'all got any comments for me, Terry, Smooth, Doony, Big D. Comment below. We'll get back to y'all. Thanks for watching. Listen.
You've been listening to Word Brings Word. It's Bruce's passion to bring in dads and men to give them a place to talk like dads and men, or to just come and hang out and have a place to pass the time. We hope you enjoyed the show. We know we had fun. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, hook up with us on YouTube at Word Brings Word and find Word Brings Word on all podcast channels. See you next time.